I'm gonna start this video by showing you what came in book mail today because it's slightly frustrating but exciting at the same time. Tiger's Curse is my favourite series and I've always only owned the first 3 books in paperback and I had the 4th one in hardback. So I recently decided that I wanted to finish the series and so I bought the 4th one in paperback and it just arrived and this is what it looks like in comparison. And I think you can probably tell the shimmery elements on it are not embossed, so it's not the same and it's much more square than the other ones. So I'm trying not to be too sad about that, but it's okay, I've got the complete series now. Hi guys, my name is Kirsty and welcome to Upside Down Books. Today I'm going to be doing a book review for you and that book review is going to be of 1,000 Perfect Notes by C.G. Drews and I'm really excited to share this with you. I genuinely loved this book. I read it recently and just powered through it and it was such a refresher to have a book that I couldn't put down. The last book, this is probably the 2nd book this year I've read, including The Hate U Give, where I've literally put off doing other things that needed to be done so that I could finish the book. I think I read about half of it in one sitting and like the second half I just had to finish it. So we're going to be having some chats about this today to discuss why I think you absolutely need and must and will read this book. To start with, this is a very exciting book to be holding in my hands because C.G. Drews is Kate from Paper Fury, which is like the best blog on the internet if I don't say so myself. Kate is a fellow blogger, not YouTuber, but blogger, and me being someone who's done a lot more blogging than YouTubing, she is like my inspiration and this was so exciting that she got her book published and there is another book coming out as well. So here is a candle of hope to all of us hoping to publish one day that it can be done. 1,000 Perfect Notes was published this year in June of 2018 and in its paperback format it's 282 pages long. It's a contemporary YA novel and it has some has a lot of domestic violence and abuse going on, so if that is a trigger warning for you or if you're thinking of buying it someone else who might not like that, then do bear that in mind. But it's a very powerful tale about a young boy called Beck who is forced by his German mother to play piano again and again to try and live up to her legends that she left because she was an amazing pianist. And he hates it. He hates being forced to play music, but he still loves his music. He lives in virtual poverty because his mother never buys anything for them. She doesn't bother to cook them dinner. She brings in the least amount of support that she could for her 2 children because Beck has a younger sister called Joey, who is an absolute ragamuffin and I love her. The story progresses as one day at school he gets introduced and forced friendship with a girl called August, who is a tree-hugging hippie and the most divine character ever written on paper, who is just beautiful and she is Beck's saving grace. So the plot that we're following is Beck struggling with the inner turmoil to try and stand up to his mum even though he just never does, and August's influence on him as he tries to understand that it's not him that's the problem, it's his mum, and that he is a good kid and a good guy and he can do amazing things. It's really sad, it's really happy, there's so many emotions in it, it's very raw and Kate held nothing back when she wrote this book and it's just a delight to read. My rating for it was 5 out of 5 stars and I put it on my all-time favourite list, so I am singing high praises here and I was so nervous when I went into this one that I wouldn't like it because then how could I ever face Kate again, but I don't know why I even doubted it. There have been hundreds of millions of great reviews that I have seen by all my fellow bloggers and other people that are reading it and it's just living up to the hype surrounding it and absolutely incredible. It's well worth the read. So far it's got 1,180 ratings on Goodreads and its average rating is 4.27 stars out of 5, which is pretty good. If I ever get a book published, I would love to start out with those sort of statistics as well. I really loved the pacing in this book and the story itself. I haven't read a contemporary for a little while and it was just such a nice easy one to slip into. It is set in Australia, which I loved, even though that's only really mentioned once in the whole book. The pace does go on quickly as we are sort of ploughing ahead towards an uncertain future for Beck and not really knowing where it's going to go. It's quite a funny read as well because of Joey's element and how crazy that kid is. She's such a happy, wild and slightly aggressive child considering how she's been brought up, but also despite how she's been brought up she's still a really good egg, and I think I just love the chemistry that happened between Beck, August and Joey. Joey's about 5 years old and Beck's a bit older, so August just is sort of watching from the sidelines as she is persistent in showing up to their house every day to walk them to school and offer them her friendship and sort of laughing to herself at the pure mad innocence of Joey. Joey is probably one of my favourite siblings in fiction now. Yeah. I'm so excited to read more characters by Kate because they are so much fun and so unique and just, I really enjoyed them. I wasn't expecting the book to be, I guess, as violent and confronting as it was. I knew what it was going to be about. This is one book that I actually read the blurb for, but it is quite a shock to the system when Beck's mother gets into a real rage, and some of the things that she does to Beck, or things that you are so terrified she's going to start doing to Joey, who is so young, were very confronting, and especially as towards the end of the book, as things start to progress, the violence sort of goes in an incline, and you're just living in increased fear and tension as every time that Beck doesn't live up to his mother's impossible standards, you just know that someone, probably him, is going to cop the punishment. I would absolutely love to meet August's parents and go around to dinner and have dinner with them because they seem like such a wonderful family, and I was just so intrigued because her parents are vets and they also adopt all animals that can't get a home. They've got heaps of dogs and cats and all sorts in the house, and it's just magnificent, and I thought that was just a really crazy, wacky idea. And yeah, if I could have dinner with one fictional family, I would definitely pick August's family. One element that I really liked as the story goes on, we meet the uncle, is everything that happens at that end of the book. I'm not going to talk too much about it, obviously for spoiler's sake, but I did enjoy the tension that continues as you really thought there was going to be a saviour to Beck's horrible situation, and then you're really not sure. The suspense is seriously kept the entire way through the book just about, and you're hoping that the uncle might be able to help him in his situation, but you're really not sure, and there's just such a beautiful atmosphere of Beck constantly being on stage and unable to leave it and not knowing how to stand up and not knowing what to do in order to protect his sister. It's just such a good and emotional tale. This is definitely a book I recommend to the YA contemporary audiences, and in fact I think quite a lot of people would love it. I gave this book to my mum before I actually read it and she also loved it, so it's obviously appealing to quite a wide audience. This is going to be like my #1 gift giving choice for the next couple of years when I don't know what to give someone for Christmas or birthdays. I'm just going to be like, here, take this book and enjoy the sheer genius of it, because you will. I would absolutely love to have a sequel to this book to find out what happens after the events of 1000 Perfect Notes. I don't know if we're ever going to get it, but it would make my day if we could continue Beck's story, because I feel like there is so much more to be had and said and done from this world, so fingers crossed we could get a sequel one day. That would be brilliant. I think this would probably appeal to people in particular who like the writing style of Jenny Han, so if you enjoyed To All the Boys I've Loved Before, then this is definitely a must-read for you. And I also think it's sort of in that same comedic element but slightly more serious as Rainbow Rowell's writing, so Fangirl and Carry On, I'm giving this very high praise. I'm literally not going to stop talking about how much I love it because you all need to read it. But I am going to leave the review there, hopefully short and sweet for you guys. I hope that you're going to pick it up. It's such an incredible read. 5 out of 5 stars over and over again. Cannot recommend this one enough, so I hope that you go and pick it up and I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. If you read this book, please let me know what you thought down in the comments below. I'd love to chat to you about it. But that is all that I have for you today, so I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.